33 then. Because my max is 33.
Okay.
Are HP potions between fights illegal?
No, they are not. Magical healing, magic of any kind during this tournament is not legal. So what Zook did was very, very illegal, and if somebody finds out that he did it, he will be in very, very deep trouble.
Yeah.
Golly, I hope that doesn't happen.
Orphan. Asking around a little bit more. Roll me an investigation check real quick. Investigation
I'll be
DC
right
15.
back.
Okay. Here is
A 2.
It's like 5. Yeah.
You hear
Investigation, that would be bad.
all manner of rumors about the Order of Hiratsu. You hear that the guildmaster, the Null, is a murderer who has managed to duck prosecution. You hear that the Order engages in human sacrifice and cannibalism. You hear that they're running an illegal sex slavery ring. You hear all manner of rumors and hearsay about the inner doings of this guild. And you have absolutely no idea what's true and what's not. You cannot make heads or tails of it.
Alright.
So that brings us...
Am I any closer?
That brings us to the afternoon. So now we're going to go into afternoon. So if you want to state an afternoon action...
So for that last one, I'm sorry, I'm just having difficulty with it. So a bet of 2,000, I would earn 4,000, so I take home 6.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct. I hope someone else is keeping track of all this bets, because I'm not. I don't.
I have it on the sheet.
I've been updating my inventory between bets.
Yeah, I'm about to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
me too.
I won
Are there any
3,000.
where are the banks?
Yeah.
It's on the ship.
Yeah, you are the bank. What are you talking about?
Hey, Brick, just a weird uptime question I came up with last time. Can healing potions be bought at 50 or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You can. I mean, not. It depends on the quantity because while
Just
they're
the norm.
you
I just
can
wanted
buy
like 3 or 4.
you can buy them, but if you're gonna, I spend 3,000 on healing potions. That's probably not gonna fly.
No, not quite. I just wanted a few for myself.
Yeah, how many healing potions are there?
You're looking at the party loot sheet, so you see whatever's left in the store.
He said we can't spend 3,000. I want to know the exact number I can spend.
0
Well, I
because
bought
you're
4.
being a dick.
I bought 4 last session, so you can subtract 4 from how many there are in the world.
Orphan.
Yes.
Nanis finds you as you're out and about. And she expresses interest in wanting to go back to the arena and watching the rest of the fights. As she was wondering why you weren't there. She was expecting to see you there and was disappointed, so she came out and she asked around, and you're the only person in town with a tail, so you're easy to find.
Yeah. I'll explain to her, I've seen a fight. We went to a fight before. I wanted to do the things that I've never seen before.
And she was a little disappointed, but she does say, okay, what are we doing?
Okay, so, I'll ask her, do you know anything about the Order of Hiratsu?
And she knows a lot about the Order of Hiratsu. She knows that they dine on unicorn meat. She knows that...
Yes.
She knows that the real guildmaster is a brain in a jar.
I love it.
She knows that every month a council of Sahagin get together out in the ocean and cast votes on what the order will be doing for that month. She believes all of these things.
This all sounds very credible.
She is very convinced that this... And so she regales all these tales. So, like, the guildmaster's not... Like, he's not the real Null, right? It's this, they keep a brain alive in a jar, just connected to its spine. So that's what she knows about the Order of Hiratsu.
All right. Well, I tell her that all sounds fascinating, and I'm interested. I'm trying to find out how much of it is true. Like which I've heard, because I tell her some of the rumors that I've heard. Going about the city all day, and so I'm telling her that I'm trying to find out more about it.
And she seems fascinated. She would love to follow you around and learn more.
All right. So I think my next move would probably be just to go to that go to their tavern, since just walking around the city and asking around hasn't had any effect. I'll try going a more direct route.
And Nice goes with you.
Okay.
All right, let's get this next fight going here.
All right.
Adric's next fight fact, let me go ahead and spawn him in here.
I'm starting to feel like we need to check the economy table to see how much gold there is in the world.
I can get my winnings in platinum, right? I don't need a wheelbarrow.
I've been making my bets in platinum, so I have to assume so.
Adric's next fight is against a very, very tall, pale-skinned human man. He has this dour visage on his face, gray hair tied back in a ragged ponytail, gray scuff on his face. He's wearing a sleeveless fur cloak, so he's got these big muscular arms sticking out the side.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Clearly not a Qiscan man. He's a foreigner, and he's wielding this stone great axe that he has huffed over his shoulder for right now.
Nice.
First thing to do is make him take some damage from his match earlier today. That does not bode well for Adric.
Okay,
He has
so
one
he took.
beefy arm.
He does not look very injured at all. In fact, his fight, from what you've heard in the crowds, and from what you and the crowds have actually witnessed, it was two hits, basically. This guy brought his great axe down, the other guy hit the ground, and then they've introduced
his head
him.
off.
Yeah, he took his head just right off. They've introduced him as Mount John.
Mount John. I love it. I love it.
And on one of his
on that
shoulders, this man is a slave. He has been branded. He is owned by someone in Qisca. And he doesn't give any flourishes to the crowd. He only, eyes focused directly on you. He walks out, takes his place, looks at you, and then just contemptuously spits at the ground. And waits for the all to give the command, which he does, so roll initiative.
So what's the odds on this guy?
5-1 in favor of Mount John.
I was gonna bet on Mount
17?
John, but 5-1, I can't.
You got him.
17.
Go ahead and do it.
All right then. I gotta take this guy down quick before he decides to give me the 1-2 treatment as well. So I'm gonna give him the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 treatment.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
You're gonna break this economy.
All right. 16 is plus
I'm hoping to sink the ship.
6 is
That
22.
hits.
D6.
And you guys are making lowball bets compared to some of these nobles. Some of these nobles that were making
5.
bets 30,000, 40,000 gold.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Nice.
That's who
Maybe
we're
I
betting
should have gone to
against,
hang out with them.
Maybe I should have bet
4,
30,000 gold.
5, 6, 7.
Okay.
Don't bet the ship.
What's the total damage?
Let's see. That was 5 and 7
my
is
God,
12.
please
Burning
bet the
point
ship.
for key.
No, listen, if I get the deed to that ship, I'm betting the ship, so don't let me anywhere
11?
near you.
11 does not hit.
All right. Last shot for key. For Larry is
That'll hit.
19 plus
Yeah.
6.
Big damage. Big damage.
Another 6.
So what is the total damage?
6 plus, what did I say, 12 is 18?
18 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uppercut his face off.
And you dart in and just a flurry of blows against this man. You aim for all of the weak spots. He's wearing split mail armor underneath his cloak.
Okay.
But you aim at his arms, which are bared, and you aim it anywhere you can. You feel your knuckles break against his armor, so you definitely got a good few shots in, but every time you've aimed one up at his face, it doesn't even look like he notices it. And after the blows...
this shit.
After the blows have rained down, you've definitely done some damage, but he kind of gives you a look like, are we done now?
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. This is where I get mollywopped.
Where you get mollywops.
So, this is why I didn't bet at all. My money!
My fight money.
25
Curse
damage.
these flaws.
25.
25 damage.
Parry.
Yeah.
Knock that down by 4.
So 21 damage.
Wow. Okay.
So you were at 33. That brings you down to 22. No,
Any more
I
of
did
that
that
poison
wrong.
left?
Yeah, it takes me down to 11.
Yeah, 11. I mathed wrong. So yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got this giant stone great. And being a dwarf, you know that a stone great axe is not a very efficient weapon. You want to make a great axe out of metal, but while you're rolling, like, why would you have a stone great axe? That's not very dwarven. He brings it down against you, right on the flat. Brings the flat of it down on your forehead, and you see stars.
Oh, God.
And then he swings it back around, crashing into the middle of your chest, knocking you over backwards. And the impact of it wasn't sharp enough to like cleave you in half, but the impact of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wearing armor, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, then it definitely would have slashed you
straight
open.
to the rib cage.
You've got a huge gash across your chest, and like the blood is just seeping out into your clothes. And it's your move.
Eldove, for what it's worth, you might already be betting the amount that the ship is worth.
Oh,
It's between 15 and 30, according to the player's handbook.
Yeah, I looked up at the player's handbook earlier. I was like, I'm planning on buying a trade ship and leaving these fuckers behind.
All right, Adric.
Let's see here. Oh, man.
You don't have this
Okay,
key
here we
point
go.
anymore. This moves away.
Yeah, no.
This is a
I
mean,
know,
a mean great axe.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Attack. 12.
Nope.
Extra attack.
You got to beat 17.
Nah.
Next up is Sarepna Elena.
12 plus 6 is,
That'll hit. Yeah.
18.
18 beats 17, so you can roll the damage
Okay.
once.
Alright. Damage is 4 plus 3 is 7. And now, time out.
Okay.
Key point. Stunning strike.
Okay.
Oh.
Save on Constitution or be stunned until your next turn. DC is.
He got a 21.
Well, I'm rolling up a new character.
And everybody, you see Adric quickly gathering himself back to his feet. He gets back onto his feet. He notices how wounded he is, and he tries to. Those of you who fought against Adric, you've never seen blows thrown out this slow or this weak. Where he lands like on Mount John's armor, like there's just no force behind him. Just Adric just looks exhausted and bleeding, and then Mount John brings his axe back up and hits twice. Adric,
Yo.
you take 25 damage
Oh no.
from 2 massive great axe hits.
Yep.
And
That's what's gonna happen.
that's it. The great axe comes down once. Well, the first blow wasn't enough to bring you to 0, so
Okay.
the second blow counts as an automatic death save fail.
Wait a second. I have something. I gotta have something here. I gotta have something.
Got something up my sleeve.
I gotta have something. Okay. Yeah, no, I got nothing.
So you're at 1 death save fail, and it's your turn, so you can make a death save now.
Oh, Adric, my money.
My prize money!
Net 20? Net 20?
If you get that 20, that's miraculous. Alright,
Nope.
so you pass the death save,
But yeah, then coup de grace. Adric is dead.
and he does. He brings the axe down and takes Adric's head off. And that's it. And
Oh man.
It was fun.
the
Oh,
door's son.
Eldove is weeping in the stands.
Because of Adric or because of the money?
The money? What kind of question was that?
Now, those party members in the stands, Eldove, you're up there, Zook is up there. You guys together?
Yeah, me and Zook have been hanging out.
Okay. You see, looking across the place, like, first of all, the crowd goes nuts. At this point in the day, they're looking to see some bloodlust. They love nothing more than to see a hero go down like this and be taken out. Like, Adric has had his 15 minutes of fame. His star has just been snuffed out by Mount John. And Mount John very unceremoniously just spits on Adric's corpse and walks out of the pit with his great axe slung
fuck
over his
you.
shoulder.
Adric's
Fred,
cursing him from the afterlife.
looking across the way, Fred looks devastated. And his lady friends are weeping openly.
If you look at me and Zook, you can see that Mega Man's gun is pointed at Zook, and Snake looks very sheepish.
So, the arena officials come out, like they do all between matches. They come out, they gather up Adric's remains, bring them back, and they present them to you, Tarin.
One box or two.
Well, his body is still intact, but has a grievous wound across his chest, and his head is in... Like, most of his beard is on the floor of the pit. They're just gonna kick sand over it.
Fred didn't make any swears to not cast Rain Dead, I'm just saying. Fred didn't promise shit.
No.
How much money did you guys lose on that?
Oh, all of it.
All-
I didn't put all of it on. I bet 5 grand on that one.
Between that and the bets for later
Oh,
on, I lost.
yeah, all
100.
three of you lost all of the money. Okay. So let it
Yeah.
ride.
I did
Adric.
not let it ride.
Adric, if it's any consolation, I had one more opponent planned for you that was a lot tougher than Mount John.
I bet.
Don't feel bad. You just got killed by like a challenge rating 5 character, so. But
Yeah,
Tarin,
no.
question is, what happens with Adric's body now?
I'll bring it back to the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Is
was
that-
saying to Nodal that after this he would have faced Sarah the Manslayer.
Within minutes, Orphan. Within minutes, somebody comes into the tavern of the Ancient and Exalted Order of Eretsu, where you and Nanis are sitting drinking or whatever you're doing, and words come from the arena. The dwarf is dead. Mount John took his head, and then you see some money inside of the tavern exchange hands. Not a lot of money. I mean, a lot by commoner standards, but not like 50,000 gold like these people were betting.
Would it be clear to me that the dwarf they're talking about is like my dwarf?
There is only one dwarf fighting in the arena that you know of.
My dwarf.
So, but it's very clear that he meant Adric. Yeah, Mount John just took his head.
I shake my head sadly, and said, we may want to cut this short to Nanis.
She looks like concerned. She says, "What's the matter?"
And I explained that the dead dwarf is my shipmate, and I should probably go see about him.
And you see this look of horror on her face. Like, I didn't know that was the dwarf that he was fighting in the tournament. I thought it was only an exhibition match against that monster.
No, apparently he decided to enter the lists.
She said that he knows the priests are forbidden to raise him. Gladiators who fall in the tournament they're said to have died in a great bout of glory, and they enjoy treasures in the afterlife.
Is that true?
It's
I don't
true
know,
as-
ask McDohl.
it's
No, I mean it's true about priests who are forbidden to raise them.
Typically, no. Typically, people don't raise dead. They don't hire priests to raise dead because it's exuberantly expensive. But there is a provision because the tournament festival is a religious ceremony overseen by a priest of Bast. The gladiators who fall in the pit are considered to have begun a glorious death, and it would be a sin to bring them back.
All right.
So-
In that case, I'm going to then I say, well, all the more reason because I'm not sure that my captain knows that, and we should probably explain this to him.
Well, it was explained to Tarin too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was part of the
I'm
paperwork.
I'm gonna go back and advocate that we comply with the law.
So, even with the losses of the day, I still made $1,000.
Who goes back to the ship at
I
this
didn't.
point?
Why
Sorry.
make your money, assholes?
I'm going back to the ship to see if I can find Tarin.
Well,
Tarin's on the ship. He has his body. I have Adric's body.
Isn't he coming with me?
Like,
Yeah, if you allow her to, she will.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow her.
we didn't end up selling the Elvish pear wine, right?
No, it's still there.
No.
Yeah, I go crack open a bottle of that, and then if anyone says anything to me, I just look at them.
Zook,
Yes.
what is your plan? You going back to the ship?
Yeah, no, Zook would be devastated by this. He was very fond of the dwarf, and he would definitely try to go find Tarin and find out. I don't know, just follow Tarin at this point.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and... Doesn't make a lot of difference, but I'm going to go ahead and get the ship map back out here. So everybody converges back at the ship while the tournament goes on.
You find Tarin in the holds on the lowest level where the horse used to be. He's sitting on a crate. He has a scroll. He's kind of rolling back and forth and reading over in his hands. It's usually on his belt case.
And Fred comes back to the ship as well, minus his lady fans. He only looks slightly worse for wear after his week of carousing in town. So Fred shows back up at the ship. as well as many of the sailors. Not all of the sailors, but many of them who were on shore leave come back, and there's a lot of concern and a lot of sadness. And then Orphan shows up with her, the child she's babysitting.
Tarin, I need to talk to you.
You can talk.
I had to ask you what you plan to do with Adric's body.
He said to bury him at sea.
And I think that would be for the best.
I have this, and I hold up the scroll.
What does that do?
Nothing, because they took his head off.
Oh.
Wait, really?
Wait, really?
The body has to be whole for raised dead to work.
I thought he was in one piece.
He is, but...
No, his
And I
head
say-
is separate.
I'm guessing.
Wait,
I
put
think,
it back on!
I think it'd be better. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that would be a grave error.
The niece speaks up,
Unintended.
and she says, no, there's another way. I mean, we can get him back. You don't have to go through the priest of Osiris. There are other ways. And she starts tugging on your robes, Orphan. She says, no, Null Kantar can do it. His master can bring him back. All we have to do is ask. He likes you, and he's accepted me as a student. We can speak for him.
Well,
that sounds
may
like a great idea.
Well, that that may be so, Nice, but from everything you told me, it sounds as if he's met his final end. This is the way he was fated to go out.
But he's not a Keyskin. He wasn't a follower of Osiris. This isn't fair.
But it did happen, and I don't think that we should interfere with this.
I wonder if I told them that I wonder if I told them that his people forbid his body to be left in this state if they would put the head back on with magic. Tarin's thinking out loud here, obviously.
I don't like the road that you're going down with this, Tarin.
And Fred pipes up
Fred,
as
you
well.
can use this, right? And I'm going to hold up the scroll.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Fred, I mean, you could do this if we had his head in one place, right? I'll hand him the scroll.
He looks at the scroll and he reads it over. And for those of you in chat, it's because eventually Raise Dead becomes a bard spell. So Fred can cast the spell off of this scroll with a good check. And he looks at it. He says, I always try to put the brightest spin on things, but these magics, this is powerful. This is beyond my normal ken. He's like, I'm willing to give it a try for Adric's sake, obviously, but this...
But it was Adric's wish that we not do this. It was Adric's wish to be buried at sea.
Tara, you know best of all of them what Adric's wishes were. What did Adric actually say?
He said to bury him at sea.
Yeah, I just asked that, and that's what Tarin told me.
Many of the other sailors that have converged down here have taken up Nanisa's side. They're wondering if there's another way that their crewmen could be saved. Why isn't the captain pursuing this possibility? Fila, by the way, is also devastated. She is just beside herself in tears.
By the by, since Adric is dead, I'm going to mute my microphone.
Yeah, you should just roll up the
You're
knees.
still here?
You're dead! You're not alive anymore!
But if Adric's dead, what does it make me?
Blackleaf's dead! Get out of here!
Have you seen the movie? It's great.
What'll it be, Tarin?
Zook is very, very conflicted about this.
I mean, ultimately, I don't really want to go against what he'd want, but man, I can fix this. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? I can fix anything.
How expensive? First of all, we don't want to bring him back as a dark god.
No, we just need to have someone who put the head back on, and then Fred can take care of the rest. This is what magic is for.
I thought magic was for setting things on fire. I've been doing magic wrong.
Arvin muscles his way into the room, holding needle and thread. He says, all you need is for the head to be back on. I'll take care of that right now. He says, if there's a magical solution to this and we don't pursue it, and he's looking at you, Tarin, he says, it makes you no better than Gendrid.
I've changed my mind, sew his head back on and magic him up.
I think this is a terrible idea.
Just to be clear,
By the way,
Eldove,
by this point, Eldove is mildly tipsy.
you don't win any money if he comes back to life.
I I don't think it'll actually bring him back to life. I just think it'll be really funny.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm gonna reach over for Eldove's glass. Give me that. And I'm going to take a very long drink.
And it's delicious elfish pale wine.
I take out a separate golden glass.
He has a barkeep following around.
You can keep that. Join me, Captain.
Arvin looks at Bateri and says, so what'll it be? Shall I get to work?
If it's a requirement for banana, the head is preservable. if that is a thing.
Wait, in 5e, does he have to agree to come back to life?
He does.
Yeah, he does. That is true, he does.
He does.
If it were against his wishes, it would just waste magic.
But nobody in the room knows this particular quirk, because none of you have ever seen the dead come back to life before. And none of you have been resurrected yourself, so...
I mean, we just need something. I mean, get to it, Arvin, but we just need someone to actually magic it together. I have a feeling he would just die again if we were to bring him back, even if you sew it on.
Well, come to that when we come to it. And he points at a couple of the sailors, and they gather up Adric's remains and take him upstairs to the surgery.
I'm gonna loudly declare that I'm gonna have no part in this, and I stomp off.
Stomp off to where?
Back to the tavern.
Okay.
You're going back to the tavern. I mean, you could just stay here. We got better drink.
I don't know, man. She's been drinking at the Exalted Order here at Sue.
I'm gonna offer Nanise a drink.
Yeah, Nanise stays aboard the ship, and she watches the surgery unless one of you disallows it.
Now, I was going to at some point look at her and say, and who are you?
She says, oh, I'm Nanise. I'm a student of Nal Kantar, and he has ways. He has magics that the priests of Osiris do not. She says, I'm sure of it. I'm sure they could do something for your friend. I don't understand why Orphan is against it. I thought she was a good person. And you guys are sitting in the doorway, and you're just watching this grisly surgery as Arvin is deftly sewing Adric's head back onto his neck.
Hey man, if I'm gonna spend 12,000 platinum pieces, I'm gonna get a show out of it.
And I mean, they had to take his beard and hair off first, clearly, so they had to... So Adric...
You were betting platinum?
Oh, I spent platinum.
It's basically just Adric's naked skull laying there with no hair or beard on it. And he's setting to work putting it together. Fred is sitting in the mess, poring over this scroll over and over again in his head in case he has to actually go through with this right. And he approaches you, Tarin. He says, I need something to clear my head. I've had too much to drink. I hate doing anything important sober, but this seems to be of great importance.
You know what? All right,
I'm gonna offer the doctor a drink.
Okay, I'll hold that, and... I mean, it's still just a problem. Am I wrong, Fred, or do we actually have to get his head magically reattached?
Because I've never done this before. Because I know that these magics are part of the teachings of my bardic college, but they're beyond my ken. I never thought that I would become... I would never thought this responsibility would fall to me. Because I want to rise to the task for your sake, for Adric's sake, for the sake of the friendly Flumph and all of its good souls, but... Because I fear that this may be beyond me.
As soon as he says, I want to rise to the task, Eldove's like, yeah, he does too, so...
We're role-playing drunk Eldove now.
I love drunk Eldove.
What were you saying, Zook?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
Zook is, he spent time in the criminal element.
Mm-hmm.
Would he have any knowledge or any, experience with people getting raised?
None.
Perhaps?
In your experience, every time somebody has died, that's been it. You know that raising the dead is possible, but it's something that the extremely wealthy or extremely powerful have access to. It is not something that you've ever seen before.
And that alone may be enough to make me think that us yahoos with a guy in the kitchen sewing a neck back on might not be enough.
Right?
So I'm wondering if maybe we should listen to the new girl.
Wait, do I have any experience with people raising the dead?
You do not. Not even amongst the royal family of Dunfoss.
Can I
Okay.
amend one thing?
Okay.
Instead of going back to the tavern, I'm going straight to the School of Senses.
With what intent?
to speak to the dean and to convince him not to bring back Adric.
Motherfucker!
And you are admitted into Null Kantar's office. And he sees you. And yeah, I'm glad you come back. Because I figured everybody would be in the arena watching that horrible spectacle today.
I have no stomach for it, especially now that it's taken the life of one of my crewmates.
Has it? It's dreadful news.
It was, and I'm sad that it happened, but I came to you with a specific request.
I'm listening.
Certain of my crewmen have gotten into their heads that you would be willing to bring him back, and I came to ask you in advance not to do this.
This thing is beyond my power. I would have to consult with the master if it was even asked of me. But I must know, why would you be against it? If this was a thing that could be done, why would you stand in his way of coming back?
Well, for two reasons. First, that it was not his will. He left clear instructions on what to do with his body in the event of his death, and raising it was not part of it. And the second reason is, it is not the will of the fates. He fell in honorable combat. He fell in the glory of the ring, and I think this is the death that was meant for him.
And he chuckles and says, you've bought into the propaganda of the glory of Bast. Pay no attention to these false gods of these people. It's just superstition, a lot of it. There's no such thing as fate, my dear. There's life and death and something beyond. Other than that, we mortals know nothing of it. But the master...
All the same, I would rather you not go against his wishes, even if you care nothing for the Weaving Mothers.
He nods. Said I would have to consider what they had to offer. And your word interests me, but I admit it has no sway. What was your, did you have any particular conflict with this dwarf? Is there any reason you want him dead?
No, he was a good friend of mine.
And he
I'm
seems
sad to see him go.
he seems to understand your point, but he definitely doesn't agree. We mortals know of life and death, but the Master has granted me powers to wield these forces and overcome them. Death is a thing to be controlled and reversed, if possible. The world would not have these forces if they were not meant to be harnessed.
What would it take for you to consider the opposing viewpoint? What is it that I could do for you to make you believe otherwise?
In all honesty, Orphan, it would take a display of power greater than that I have seen from the Master. This thing, bringing the souls back from the worlds of the dead, this is a thing that I have seen and has put me in awe. And I have to say, your ideals, while admirable, pale in comparison. Perhaps you too will be swayed if you come to see it.
I see. Well, I said my piece, and if it is willed that Adric comes back to life, then I suppose that is one way that the universe may go. But I just came to ask that you please, don't listen to their request. It's all I can ask you, plainly and humbly.
Susan, I admire your honesty and your forthrightness, but we'll be expecting a visit from your captain soon.
All right, and with that, I'll just nod to him and leave.
So they got Adric's head back on after an hour or two of grisly surgery.
God.
Fred drinks as much coffee as you have aboard the vessel, which you don't have any coffee, so he has to use the keg of black powder to.
Oh, game
That'll
over.
give him some perk in his step.
No, Fred has built up his confidence level. Like in the hour since you last talked to him, Tarin, he's turned around on it. He's convinced that he can make this work.
He's been playing raise confidence on himself.
Right. Now, he has to make a DC charisma check. DC 10 plus the spell's level. And raise that is what? 5th or 7th?
5th.
5th level spell?
7th, we wouldn't have the head problem.
Roll it on the table.
Okay.
We'll
So-
bring him.
It's a DC.
Alright, well,
It's a DC 15 spellcasting check for Fred. Correctly use this scroll, and his charisma is 18, so it's a +4 on the roll.
Ooh.
Do you want to cross your fingers, McDohl?
I'm
A little
gonna.
bit.
I'm gonna have him bring him out. Bring him to the temple in the front of the ship. I'm gonna lay him out respectfully.
Oh, the Temple
what
of
the hell?
Quisalis.
I'll
Yeah.
become a part of this terribleness. 1 second here. Did I actually?
What other precautions do you take with the
I
head after
cast
sewing it
enhance
together?
ability on Fred.
Oh, okay. Now, what does that do exactly?
He gets advantage on charisma checks.
Nice.
Just on ability checks, though.
Just charisma checks. That's all it says.
Okay, but 'cause this isn't an
it's-
ability
I'm-
check.
No, it's everything. Like it's a very specific thing.
Actually, it is an
What
ability
spell
check.
is it?
Yeah, it's a spellcasting ability check. So
What spell is it, Nodal?
Enhance ability.
yeah, he's
Oh,
got
okay.
it listed here.
Yeah.
He has advantage on charisma checks. Okay. Let me read the verbiage of Raised Dead real quick. So what are the precautions do you take with his head? I mean, Arvin did a great job sewing it on, but it has not been magically attached, and there's, like, the internal blood vessels and things have not been attached, just the skin.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we do it, it would just kill him again, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm
I mean,
reading.
Tably take him to an expert.
Eldove makes a big fucking deal of casting enhance ability, by the way. Like, I'm talking like... Everyone sees this, right? I'm thinking he fucking owes me if we bring him back.
It does say the spell closes all mortal wounds.
But it also says it doesn't restore missing body parts, so...
Right,
And
but
it specifically calls the head being cut off is
Right.
not good.
So-
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, it's,
no, but
this
but
just isn't
it
gonna
says
work.
it says if the creature is lacking body parts, like his head is not lacking; it's right there. But the mortal wound, in my reading of this,
Wait a
the head
minute!
is
Wait a minute!
reattached.
A minute ago, you were very against this plan.
No, in character, he's
Orphan
against
I know,
it being
I know.
brought
Super
back.
against it. I want Adric. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be very clear here. Like, this is great.
So the question again is, Tarin, what other precautions are being taken? Or if any?
Do we at least wrap the wound or something?
Eldove very clearly takes out a dice, and he flips it over to the number 1, and he's like, you guys are watching this, right?
Is his body an object now?
Technically, yes.
Does it fit under the mass weight limit for mending?
What's the weight limit for mending?
I'm finding it right now.
How fat are you? Wait, does he ever
pretty
read down on his
stocky.
character sheet? Check that out.
That's what I'm
I think
looking,
it's
but he
pretty
doesn't.
I don't.
I have mine written down.
Me too.
This is where we have to
Doesn't matter,
consult the book.
sometimes people.
Oh no! As long as it's no longer in 1 foot in any dimension, is your neck thicker than a foot long?
No.
Well, you'd have to cut his neck off in order for it to be a separate object.
Yeah, I mean,
No, mending will link two broken halves of an object.
Yeah, as long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot, you mend it.
Okay. Okay.
so do you try it?
Wait, what are we doing now? Are we casting mending on
Well, I
his
need to
net?
find. I can't cast mending. We need to find someone to do it.
Oh, okay. Roll a quick wisdom check, DC 10.
All of us, or just him?
No, just Tarin, because he's the one with the idea.
All
Oh
right.
god.
Why am I not picking up this die? Oh, I'm in a different mode.
Because you're flicking.
Yeah, you're flicking
Flick it.
dice around. Flick it
Flicking
good.
really hard.
That would be a 9.
No, 9 does not pass. So, okay, yeah, you have this idea to go hire somebody to cast mending on the neck.
So yeah, I'm gonna have them wait off, and I'm gonna wander half drunkenly into the city towards wherever I think I can hire a spellcaster. I've got a bit much fair wine at this point.
You have.
I'm
For the
going through the
miserable.
scrolls.
He's not
Once you
partaken
mentioned
in
the
any of this-
mending idea, I'm going through the scrolls to see if we have a scroll of mending, and I noticed the scroll of feign death, and I'm like, maybe he just cast this on himself, and we actually just need to wake him up.
Now, when you mention casting the mending spell and you go to leave, Nanise is on you like a shadow. And she says, we'll go to the School of Senses. There are spellcasters there, but all we must do is talk to Kantar. I know he has ways. His master is powerful. I've seen it. She says, Orphan is wrong. We can do this.
What exactly do you do again?
You asking Denise?
Yeah.
She kind of looks proud of herself. She says, I'm training under Null Kantar in his school of demonology.
Eldove snorts.
Sir,
It's
you're a
like, this
wizard?
is a great idea.
So you're a wizard?
She nods, says, yes, I'm a wizard by training, but I've switched focus,
Can
and
you
now
cast
I'm...
mending?
Sadly, I cannot.
Well, let's go to your school and find someone who can cast mending.
Okay. What level spell is mending?
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip, so first level.
Let's say Zook follows this party.
So that's going to cost 50 gold.
Yep.
Yeah, 50 gold to hire a spellcaster to cast mending. But how do you go about hiring them? Like, you're not showing them an object to mend.
Right.
So what do you tell them?
I'm going to ask Anise, first of all, if she knows anyone who she thinks I should hire.
Uh,
I
she-
need the best mender.
She brings you to the Wizarding College, and this is a relatively low-level spell, so any Acolyte Wizard here would be able to cast it. I mean, it's a flat 50 GP rate. This is not...
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get, like, the Dean of Students here to cast Mending for you.
Sure.
But what do you tell... This Acolyte Wizard comes out. He's very adept at being hired to cast low-level spells. What do you tell him?
I need a mending cost, and I'm going to pay you double if you don't ask any questions or tell anyone what you saw.
And
You're also going to have to go on site. It's not outside of the city.
kind of... This sounds very hush-hush, very official.
And I'm just going to talk to him in his mind and say, we're talking like this from now on. Follow me.
And he follows you. Nani stays at the school. As soon as you get there, she points you the right direction and she breaks off. Orphan, you arrive back at the ship. Tarin and Denise are no longer there.
And Zook, he went to the school.
Oh, Zook's no longer there.
Zook's
All right.
following them around.
Who is here aboard the ship?
Looks like Eldove is here, Fred is here, most of the crew is here.
Are they all with the body?
The body
I'm
is still
with
here.
Fred wherever he is, because I need to concentrate on him.
Fred is with the body, yes. Fred is with the body. He's got this scroll open, and he seems to be studying it.
Oh, if he's studying it, then I haven't cast it on him yet, because I
Right.
would have cast it like right before he did it.
No, I understand. You're building up to it.
Yeah. I'm making a big show of like, let me get my wizarding materials out, like taking the pepper out from the cows. Like, I need some of this pepper.
Right.
Is there a material component?
No. Well, yeah, there is, but I use my ring, so.
What does Orphan do? If anything.
So where is the body?
Right now it's in the chapel.
In the chapel.
The chapel of Quisalis. His hair has been shaved off. The head has been stitched back onto his neck. Fred and Eldove are in there waiting for Tarin to return. And then awesome things are going to happen.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell Eldove that Tarin asked for him. He's at the School of Senses and he needs your help there.
Tell him to come over here, then.
Eldove is very drunk.
Now he says there's been a thing with the payment and he needs some of your money. It's
Tell him to go to hell.
apparently an expensive spell. Well, do you want to see Adric alive again or not?
I'd rather see my money alive again. You picked just about the worst way to get me out of that room.
Yeah.
How much gold did you lose on this, Eldove?
I lost 1,200 platinum.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of money. Anyway,
That's a lot of money.
That's enough to buy the ship 4 or 5 times over.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'll just say he was very insistent that he needed to see you right away.
The only reason I'm not dying right now is because Eldove has lost this amount of money. This is not the first time.
Fred regards Eldove and Orphan for a few moments, and he says, I've got a little money. How much does he need?
He didn't say. It seemed to be, but it seemed like any bit could help. You might want to go see him at the school.
He says, let's go into the treasury. There's gold to be had there still, yes?
But I don't have the key. It's on him.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Eldove, you can make an
I love
insight
this.
check.
I love this.
No,
I
I
love this.
automatically fail because I'm wasted.
Orphan, you've got to beat 23.
Let's see. What is my deception even? Oh, it's +1. All right.
Fred just rolled a
It's-
nat
it's not-
20.
It's
Well,
not
what do
not-
I feel?
like what would a nat 20 versus a nat 20 be even? If
You'd
I
add the
rolled
bonus,
that
and whoever
much
goes
out?
higher wins.
Okay, well I rolled a 2, so that's not happening.
You say, well, you should probably go see him at the school. And Fred says, well, wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. Tarin's got the key to the treasure. If he needed more money, he would come back here and take it. He's the captain. What are you playing at, Orphan?
I just let out an exasperated breath. I don't know. All I said to him was I was only given the message. You can take it up with him.
Fred regards you. And this is the first time you've seen Fred regard you with suspicion, basically since you've known him. When you first met, he made some bawdy jokes about your horns and your tail and your gender, etc. But you've never seen the look from him that you've gotten from many other people, especially humans. And for the first time, you see that look on Fred's face. And he just sits back down and says, I think I'll wait for the captain.
Suit yourself.
That sounds like a good idea.
20, 30 minutes later. What's your intention now, Orphan?
Is Eldove passed out yet?
I'm working on it. I'm not there yet.
Well, what's your intention for the next, 20 or 30 minutes? Because Tarin's going to be back at the ship.
Yeah, let's see. So they're both in the room with the body. I'm not having any luck getting one over on Fred.
No, Fred rolled his 20 on his insight. He
Yeah.
knew you were bullshitting him.
Yeah, he knows I'm up to something.
That 20, by the way, is the 20 that we needed for him to roll on the Raise Dead scroll. So, just so you know,
Yeah.
we've now wasted
Yeah.
that 20. It's gone.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
We
But-
should go to an expert.
Thanks,
do
Nick.
you do anything before Tarin gets back?
No, I just kind of sit there and see, just waiting for, hoping that Eldove passes out.
Eldove does not pass out, but Tarin and Zook,
Alright.
but not Nanise. But Tarin and Zook arrive back with this young wizard acolyte. And Tarin, where do you bring this acolyte?
I'll bring him right to the temple.
Bring him to the temple. And there's this body laying there with a stitched head, and his eyes go wide. And he looks at you. He says, well, what do you want me to do with that?
Put his head back on.
He looks at
Well,
it.
I mean, it's back on, but you have to, actually properly connect them.
He looks at this. Wait a minute, is that a dwarf?
Yes.
He points. Says, that's the dwarf that got killed by Mount John in the arena.
Yes, dwarves have a very weird thing where they don't want to be buried with their heads separate.
Now you need to
Do
roll.
I need to make a bluff
yes,
check?
you do. Deception.
That
got-
sounds legit to Eldove.
You got to beat a 15. That ought to do it.
Yep, I've got a +4
I
charisma.
was like, hope you have his bonus.
And he you tell him
And
dwarves have
he
this
does it
thing.
exactly like that, slurring his words a little bit, kind of playing up the drunkenness.
Okay. He says, if any of us are caught bringing this gladiator back from the dead, we're all in very big trouble. He says, for me, it could be the hangman. He says,
Nobody will ever know you were here.
Just being clear, this is just a burial rite, yes?
Yes.
And he nods. And he reaches out his hand to accept payment. You promised him double, so you owe him 100 gold.
Yeah, I give him 100 gold.
Alright. Yeah, he tends to the body, tends to the part of the neck that has been cleaved in half. I'm just gonna look up mending real quick. There's no check or anything required for this.
Don't think so.
And
It's just...
yeah, you see the stitching around the neck. The flesh starts to come together. And eventually, he reaches forward with a tool, with an instrument, and cuts the stitching and removes it piece by piece. So the neck is whole again, as far as anybody can tell. He asks for water, and it's brought. He uses a cloth to wipe the blood away from his neck and his chin and his upper chest. And as far as it looks, it's just a bald Adric laying there now.
All right, thank you. We'll have to sail out and bury him, and I'll escort him off my ship.
And
Wait,
he's gone.
Wait, but before he does, I want to stop him.
Where do you stop him at?
So I'm still around right here, around like the 9.
Okay.
Where's my token? Oh, here, it's over here. So I'll stop him and say, wait. Will you not stay to watch the burial?
No thanks. I've got no stomach for that.
It's a simple burial at sea. Not much to see that you haven't already.
Are you physically barring his passage?
Yes.
He looks a little nervous. Glances back at the captain and says, "What is this?"
Let him go, Orphan.
That's Zook, by the way.
Oh, is it?
I don't actually have a piece for the acolyte.
Oh yeah, I'm too far zoomed out to tell the difference.
He looks nervous. He looks like you've got him in a trap.
I just think that there should be an official city witness to this burial.
I don't know this man. I'm sure he's a fine man, but I have no desire to see him buried. I would just like to go on my way, please.
We have to go out to sea a ways anyway, so...
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll take care
I can't
of it.
afford to keep a wizard on retainer for the entire trip.
But right now the acolyte can't leave because Orphan is physically standing in his way. And Orphan has size and reach on this guy. He's nervous. He's little simple level 1 wizard.
Hey, Zook. Hey. I'm Zook.
You are Zook.
How much has Zook been drinking?
Zook hasn't been drinking. That's the scary thing. I've gone and forgotten Nick's character's name now. Orphan. Hey, Orphan, why don't you let the nice wizard get off the boat?
I grumble off to the side.
And as soon as you do, this wizard very swiftly moves past you and heads up the stairs. And he's gone.
All right, men, set the sails. I want to be outside of the harbor, and we'll do this at sundown. What time is it now? Is it day?
It is, but only about 6 of the men came back. You had 8 men on leave. 6 of them came back when they heard the news. You are woefully undercrewed.
Captain, I still think that we should maybe want to get an expert in on this and not just, Fred.
Fred says, "I'm confident that I can do this, Captain. So
I
you
have
put your
every
faith in me, and I'm the right man."
I have every bit of confidence in Fred's ability. Do we have enough men to just get... And we're not going to be out at sea longer than a day. I just want to get outside of the site, in effect. I don't know, maybe the laws don't apply if we're in international waters.
Alright, so, yeah, you set sail out of the harbor. How far out to sea do you intend on going? Are you leaving Qisca behind? You've had enough of this place?
No, I'm just going until it's no longer...
I mean, there's no...
My part is to tend magic reach.
There's no concept of international waters.
Right.
You're off the coast of Qisca, not Pennsylvania.
Right.
Let's go off of Qisca until we can't see Qisca anymore.
I was thinking that it might take a while, though. I mean, it'd probably be night.
So you sail out...
How far do the sailors think we can go before it's really a problem that we haven't, properly gotten everyone back aboard? Like, how long before they're worried? I can always send word to them, but...
I mean, they're not worried as long as they know they're going right back. Because there was
we'll be going right back.
Everybody was under the impression that you were going to resupply and recrew the ship, and when you left Qisca for good, you would have enough men to sail her properly.
Yes, that's absolutely the intention.
So yeah, they set to work. I mean, at this point, they're all coming together because they know that Adric's life is on the line at this point. So, and a lot of the men have great love for the dwarf. So you set out to sea.
And before we do it, so I'm going to go out until like midnight or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm saying, Orphan, can you come talk to me?
Oh, God.
I'll follow him silently to wherever he's leading him.
We'll go to the captain's quarters.
All right.
Which at this point I've begun to
Move in.
I've begun to have it decorated a little bit more in Tarin style. It probably hasn't been completed yet.
Now,
Where is the captain's quarters?
did you number 5?
Okay.
How did you go about hiring for that work? Because if you just found someone in town, most likely what you would find is a slave owner who would send people up to do it. Or, I mean, you can, for more expensively, you could go to the craftsman's area and hire somebody there, or...
I just put on the sheet. We never gotten back to that last session.
Okay. So we're going to say work hasn't begun on that yet.
Okay.
Since we haven't made a decision on how to go about it yet. So right now it's still Fila's room. No, it was Humberth's room at that point.
Yeah, it was Humbert's, but his stuff's all gone, so it's empty.
Okay.
Look, Magic doesn't always work, so I mean, if this doesn't work, there's your fate stuff. Like, seriously, we can. I can't just let him die. I feel responsible. I shouldn't have let him.
You let
get
him
in.
die when you became his patron, and you entered him into the tournament.
Right, and that's what he wanted.
And yet here we are.
Right. Right. And he just sort of sits down on the bed and reaches for the glass of pear wine and doesn't say anything.
I just don't understand why you insist on doing this when you know it's wrong.
It's not wrong. It's just, it.
It's just not right.
Yeah.
Captain had a little bit too much to drink.
Look, we'll just bring him back and everything will be fine. We can fix this. We can fix it.
Before long, there's a knocking on the captain's door.
Enter.
And Fred enters. The captain says we're well away from Qisca. Moon's high in the sky. When did you want to do this?
Now's as good as any time.
Fred nods. And he heads back towards the Chapel of Quisalis.
Alright, I'll follow Tarin if he's going there.
Alright, so here's do or die time. Eldove, are you... How drunk on a scale of 1 to...
I'm at about a 5.
About
like, if you want me to focus on this man for a minute or two, how long does this take to cast?
It would be on your sheet.
Casting time is 1 hour.
1 hour?
For Raised Dead is 1 hour.
No, for enhanced... Raised Dead's going to be instantaneous. You're going to be reading it off a scroll.
Oh, right.
So...
Then, yeah, I can focus on that for that long.
For instantaneous.
He has
Yeah,
advantage...
focus for instantaneous.
Here's how it works. He has advantage on the check,
Advantage on the check.
and he has to make it DC 15. And he gets a +4 to his charisma, so he's got at least one of these dice has to come up at 11.
Is there anything I can do to help throw
Alright,
a lucky token at this?
Alright, Fred, you got this. We can do this. Me and you, man.
Hold on a second.
We're
Hold
gonna
on.
bring back a dwarf.
Hold on.
He's not even that big.
Give me a second here. I need to. Oh, hold on. I gotta
Fred,
plug
come on,
something in.
man. Where'd you put
It's
that
not
scroll?
Fred saying this. It's your DM saying this. Chill out, boss.
For the record, I have to pee really, really bad, but I'm not
Fred.
leaving until we're done with this.
Fred, did you put the scroll in the tunnel?
He put the scroll in the tunnel.
Okay. I need to click some buttons on my end because this seems like it's pretty dramatic.
Buttons are being clicked.
Buttons are being clicked.
What is happening?
Oh shit, I activated first person camera.
Hey, look! It's the Batman symbol on my shirt. All right, guys, here we go.
Oh god.
I have to see this. I have to see this. Hold on, don't do it yet, Brick Road.
Here's the
I have
desk.
to- I have to
What's
print-
gonna be a delay?
These are the 2 dice right there. Okay, these are the dice. We just need to see an 11. If one of these is 11, this spell works. Well, the spell works off the scroll. From there, we'll have to see. But so this one is there's a 10.
Oh god.
There's a 10. Have we caught up? Twitch lag yet? Are we?
I just saw you pick it up, and
Oh, the lag is real.
yeah, the lag is really real.
I really hope he scores an 11 and then he decides not
There's
to come
the
back
10.
to life.
This first one's a 10. We're seeing it, right?
Yeah.
Seeing it.
Okay,
I've
so
Seeing that 10.
that gives him a 13, and he needs a 15. Okay, so over here we have a 3.